Fulham 1, Manchester United 2, Rick. Back to the top of the table. There it is. Was that the definition of if you're in a title race, you need to be able to win when you don't play well?
Yes and no. We had good spells. But I knew it was going to be tough, Flex. Don't underestimate. I know they're in the bottom three, but Chelsea played against them with 10 men and scraped a 1-0. They've drawn with Liverpool, they've drawn with Spurs. They're proper well organised, proper hard to beat. We're the first team to score 2 against them for a long time to start with. Do you know what I mean? Mind you, we was lucky to get 2. What a goal that was!
What a goal!
People don't understand what I mean when I say that's lucky. I don't mean it's a lucky goal. It's a fantastic goal, like you won't see many of them in your lifetime. But you're lucky as a team to get that goal at that moment. You could get that goal in a game where you're winning 3-0. Do you understand what I mean? You're lucky that goal falls for you in that moment, in that game.
Well, absolutely, because if we didn't get that goal, look, if we're being truly honest,
or just trying left. Obviously, they don't keep pushing for the goal after they've got that goal. So maybe they still would have scored. You'll never know. But
exactly.
It was an important goal, and it was a fantastic goal.
It was, and it's a goal that's brought us back to the top of the Premier League. Until the next round of games. Anyway, there's so many games this week; it's going to keep changing. But what I thought was really interesting was just the game management of it. Like, I couldn't believe that Solskjaer waited so long to make changes. I mean, for me, Greenwood wasn't in the game. Martial wasn't really in the game. Cavani was brilliant. I tweeted that. He's just got to play number 9. He's got to be the striker.
Cavani's from a different planet, mate. We've signed a player there. It's hard to explain how good he is. With his work rate, the way he nicks the ball back so often. I mean, the one where they were on a break and it's him who's there stopping them in our half just about by the time he's run from their box. And it's like we've signed a player who's a level above what we've been used to playing with, and I'm talking about all over the field, not just as the forwards. He's just a level above the type of players we've been. He's that good. He's great. He's alert when he reads when defenders are going to take a touch and he's there to nick it off the toe. His little layoffs are fantastic. He's just different gravy. He really is. He's fantastic.
He is, and it's weird because when he came, it did look. Excuse me. It did look just a little bit out the blue, like it just didn't. So that shows that maybe there was a point in the summer, I think it's fair to say, where he wasn't on the cards for us. And a lot of Man United fans kind of thought, what's happened here? This shows a lack of planning. This shows that we weren't ready. But like you say, he's been a revelation, and he's so important to us.
And he's 34, isn't he?
33 now, going on 34.
We need to play Juan Matamor on the right instead of Greenwood. You know what I mean? Nobody's moaning about him being 34, are they? Because he's a new signing and because he's playing regularly. Well, he's not playing regularly yet, but he will be playing regularly. Ollie's got to start playing him regularly. He's got to.
He does. Do you know what? I thought you haven't mentioned Mata for a long time, actually. So
he's not getting looking at all, has he? You know what I mean?
He hasn't.
But Mason's doing not bad. He's just not bad, but no better than that, Flex. All the time, he's just not bad. Mata's got more ingenuity about him. I put a tweet out the other day saying we haven't scored more than 2 goals in a game now since we played Leeds, which is 9 games ago because of 8, and then it was the 9th. So now it's 10 games ago. So in our last 9 games, we've not scored more than 2 goals, in a match. We've got to rectify that. As much as it does seem to keep going for us, when we've beaten Wolves 1-0, we've beaten Villa 2-1, we've won 2-1 today. I don't think we can expect. We're going to have to score 3 goals.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And when I say score 3 goals, I don't mean to win 3-2. What I mean is to put a game to bed. Like we're hanging on at the death there, but for the grace of God, that goes in off Bailey. Do you know what I mean? We need to have games put to bed occasionally. We ain't going to keep winning by 1 goal. Teams are going to come onto you at the end, and eventually you'll drop points in a game where if you'd have played better in the first place, you'd be 3 up by that stage. That deflection off Bailey, it shouldn't really have mattered if it went in or not. But had it gone in, we've lost 2 points, haven't we? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, it's fine margin. I think what is the interesting conversation is we will enjoy being in and around the conversation, and the rival fans. You look at your City fans and your Liverpool fans or whoever else. that type of performance probably feeds into the reason why they look at us and kind of don't take us seriously in this title race. They're like, you'll fall off because that isn't sustainable, is their argument.
That's why I think we'll fall off. Long may it continue. So, as long as they do keep winning, Flex, I don't mind. But I just can't envisage it continuing. If we're only going to be one goal up towards the end of games, you're bound to concede in the end. Teams do look. We brought Matic on and he cleared one ball out of the box. He was only on the pitch 45 seconds.
And he went up the other end and kept the ball really well and gave it to Rashford.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
I was shocked Ollie didn't make substitutions.
Man of the match.
Rick, how many you had? How many?
No, but you're right. He did actually do a couple of important and good things. He was only on the pitch 45 seconds. But what I was going to say, but the reason I was mentioning that is Ollie's obviously, his bottle's going near the end, isn't it? And he decides to bring on. They're about to take a long throw. There's a sort of an old adage in football that when you're about to defend a corner or a long throw, never make a sub. We actually did it deliberately. We did it deliberately because we thought we knew there was an high ball coming in.
Did it for a throw, didn't we? I think.
It was a throw. You knew he was going to send a long throw in, so he sent Matic on and took Bruno off. Obviously, just more height. That was all it was. Yeah,
I mean, for me, was you surprised that Ollie didn't make changes earlier on? For me, as I was looking at the game kind of transpire, I know Pogba had that moment of brilliance, but I looked at him and Fred in midfield, which is a midfield that, him, Pogba, Pogba, Fred and Bruno, that have been kind of, I want to see that. Let's see what we can do. They played really well against Sevilla, and then we didn't score in the right moments. We ended up losing the game. But was you surprised that Ollie didn't kind of bring in a Matic next to Pogba to try and shore it up from earlier, get Greenwood off for Rashford maybe earlier, or Van der Beek, or just try to impact the game sooner?
Yeah, we definitely. He should have made subs a bit earlier. I mean, like at the end of the day, it's difficult, or churlish perhaps, to criticise because we've won the game in the end. Like I've just said, he ain't going to keep happening for us by winning by one goal. But we did get away with it. So it's difficult to criticise him. But I think we could have nailed it down a bit quicker if he would have made a couple of subs. I mean, we don't want to bang on about Van der Beek. We're fed up of banging on about Van der Beek.
Yeah, there's no point. Yeah,
get him on and let him get hold of the ball and let him get involved. And that right hand side position, it's the one position on the field where there's loads of different players available for that spot. We used Pogba there against Liverpool. Matt has played there. Dan James has played there. Greenwood today. Rashford had a little spell playing wide on the right. I'm sure Van der Beek can do an equally good job at least half of those players. Why doesn't just give him 20 minutes there and see how he does? I don't know. But having said that, we're 2-1 up in a game that we've desperately got to win. Does he think that, I really want to stick with the players that I know, that I trust, that have played well for me over months and months, rather than Van der Beek, who's had 20 minutes here and there? I don't know what he thinks, but I would have definitely made subs quicker. And the thing about the two midfield players, I was shocked when it was Pogba and Fred. It's nearly always McFred, as they call it these days, or it's Pogba and Matic.
He just came out with it.
Yeah, to swap it around. I don't know if that means my favourite pairing would be McTominay and Matic. I've told you that loads of times. Don't know whether that means those two might start against Liverpool at the weekend. Don't know.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, going into that Liverpool game, Rick, FA Cup, I think you can. There's so many games because then we got Sheffield United on the Tuesday, I think it is, or is it the Wednesday? Whatever day it is.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, another midweek game straight after the Sunday game. You've got to keep changing up the squad. Are you expecting massive changes in that? And Liverpool probably do the same as well. They've got games coming thick and fast.
I think I wouldn't say massive. What's massive changes, Flex? I'm expecting 5 changes at least. I'm expecting about 5 changes. Yeah, there's your obvious ones who just play all the time that won't get. Don't know whether Bruno might get a rest. I'd put him in the bracket of always playing, but
he's definitely in that bracket.
Yeah, he definitely plays all the time. I don't know whether he's in the bracket of will he get a rest this week, but Maguire will definitely play. One will play. Pretty sure Shaw will play. You know what I mean?
He's been really good. Sure.
He's going to want his back four to be solid. He's going to want his central midfield pairing to be solid. And this is how you can make changes. And it's a bit of a mad one when you think about it. People always say players always need rests because it's obvious. your back four needs continuity. And because it's obvious your back four needs to know each other's games inside out, it appears the back four players don't need as much rest as the front players, don't they?
It's true.
It's a lot of rubbish, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. The keeper never needs a rest as well. It's just part of it.
So you can basically, in a nutshell, you can afford to change your forwards, and maybe you can't afford so much to change your defenders. So you might see. I think Cavani might get a start again.
He's got to. He's got to start. He's got to.
I want Van der Beek to get a run, especially against a good team, and see how he's
against Liverpool. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they'll make 2 or 3 changes, but they're not going to want to get knocked out, Flex. It's not going to be a dead weak team.
No chance. Did you see the team they put out against Aston Villa's kids?
I did actually.
They brought Salah on the pitch and everything. So, you know.
Did you? I mean, can we talk about this here? About the goal for City tonight against Villa? Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
The
football's gone mad. It's gone mad.
That's got to be offside. I don't care what anyone says.
Football's gone crazy.
The player takes a touch, he nicks it off his toe, and he's not offside because he's took a touch. That's beyond me. That anyway. That's a different team.
Yeah. Rick, I've got to ask you this. Eric Bailly was in there today, and Wan-Bissaka was in there. That first goal that we did concede. You got Wan-Bissaka not quite in line playing him off. You've got Eric Bailly who can clearly see in front of him because it's behind Maguire. Lookman kind of running in that space. Yeah. I remember, and this isn't to bring it to a negative. This is just constructive criticism. I remember there was a point when you were saying about you had your reservations about Wan-Bissaka. Had a difficult game today for large parts and then grew into it as the game wore on. But are you concerned about him? Do you want some competition for him, to bring in another right back like what we've done with Luke Shaw slash Telles to kind of, I know you said Luke Shaw's doing what Luke Shaw's always done for you, but with Wan-Bissaka, we've got Dalot out there at AC Milan, with some big clubs sniffing around. Do you want to see some competition for Wan-Bissaka? Are you concerned at all? Or do you think that was just a bad performance?
I don't think it was a great performance by Wan-Bissaka, but in general, he's come on a treat from what I first said about him a year or so back.
Oh, you said he was a fish on a. What's he say?
He's like a fish riding a bike when he gets forward. Do you know what I mean? He still is at times, to be honest, but not all the time. He's come on a treat. He's doing all right, but competition for places. I do agree with competition for places being healthy, but
sorry, Rick. Just quickly, just pull your camera down a little bit, just slightly. Just like there you go. Yeah.
I think more along the lines of decent cover. I think I wouldn't mind us having another right back as decent cover. And if you sign another right back, you might. I mean, like when we signed Telles, I didn't know much about Telles, and I've watched him 2 or 3 times, and I appreciate now that his cover. He's not going to be better than Luke Shaw, however long he plays for us. I can see that in 3 matches. It's just a decent, solid fullback who's decent cover. You might sign somebody. Obviously, the scouts and everybody who United have got, they must be looking at players all the time, all over the show. They might pull somebody out who's as good as Wan-Bissaka, and you might find that it's proper competition, and he might get less games. Do you know what I mean? I thought there was a lot of people saying Telles had played, and I wasn't surprised that he did.
No, neither was I. And again, I said to Mark, I said to him on the live before that I expect Luke Shaw to play against Liverpool too.
I think he.
Do you know what I mean? I'll be surprised if he's not. To be fair.
In a nutshell, he's basically too good.
He is at the moment. He really is shit hot, as they say. He is. Yeah. He's playing really well. Rick, who was your man of the match and why?
Do you know what? Just before Paul hit that shot with his left foot, his weaker foot. What a goal that! And I never give people. I'm not going to give him man of the match, by the way. I was about to say, just before he gave that, he got the ball in our right back spot and really dillied and dallied on it, and they took it off him, and they broke away, and he chased back and got it off him. But he shouldn't have lost it in the first place. And I saw a few things like that. He didn't look at the races today to me at times. There was one incident in the first half where he got it just outside the penalty area, and Bruno was on the right touchline, 10 yards in front of him. Just pass it to him. And he turned into a crowd of 3 players, and he just took it off him and went up the pitch. Things like that were happening a bit too often.
Yeah, a mixed game. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was just... That was just going through my head when he lost it. I was moaning about him,
and then bang!
I went, wow.
He went, "Sit down, Rick." That's what he said.
Yeah, but too many. I've got to give man of the match to Cavani. Got to.
Yeah.
Got
He's working really well. And, you know, I tweeted it, listen, Martial, I really like. I think he's a really intelligent footballer, but I don't think he's at the races right now, Rick. Like a lot of other forwards we have, like our whole front line. But definitely, I don't care about whatever happens on the wings. Cavani has to be number 9. He just has to be.
Cavani's got to start at 9. Martial's got to start at 11. Let the rest of them fight out who plays on the right. Simple as that.
Okay.
Even tonight.
Yeah.
You know, they brought Rashford on for you know, we just spoke about Matic doing a couple of good things in the 45 seconds he was on. Rashford was on for about 9 minutes and did 3 terrible things. You know, he got it by the corner flag where he was trying to kill time. He tried to win a corner. Look, Flex, there's no point beating about the bush about these things. There'll probably be people saying, why is he saying that? But he kicked it along the floor. Any footballer worth his salt, I'm talking Sunday League players, you clip it so it comes up a yard or 2 foot, and the defender can't get out of the way then. It hits his shins or his knees. He played it along the floor to try and play it off him. I don't get it. He jumped over it, the keeper got it, and they broke away. Then he charged the full-back on the halfway line when we're under pressure. He walked past him like he wasn't there and put the ball up. Well, he might not have put the ball in the box. And there was another one as well. So, you know, don't get on Marshall's probably done 3 or 4 bad things in the 80 minutes that he played, and Rashford's done 3 bad things in the 9 minutes that he played. Do you know what I mean? Don't get on Marshall's case about having and that fullback, by the way, and that's like I've just said about Fulham, they're absolutely off the wall at the minute, Fulham. They're off the wall, defensive-wise, organised-wise. That Tete is a right handful. I'll tell you something else that happened. The ball was fed up to Marshall. This is the first goal, right near the halfway line. Back to the full-back, which he's really good at. He flicks it on to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw carried on up the line. The full-back smashed into him. Took the lot. He was on the deck. We've got other players who would have been down. The ball goes forward. It comes out of the box. Who's there? Anthony Marshall heads it down to Fred. Fred passes it to, or whichever way round it was.
Yeah.
Passes it to Bruno. Bruno crosses it, we score. If we had a different player playing on the left wing who would have got that, we wouldn't have got that goal. It's all little bits, Flex. It's all little bits. He's up there winning that header, knocking it down to somebody, and that leads to a goal.
Not going well for him in terms of scoring, is it? I mean, that's the thing with Tony right now. It's just not going for him, is it? Right.
Goals, and people think that means you're not playing well. He didn't have a fantastic game tonight. Of course he didn't. But, you know, it was an hard game, and he held his own. He was fine.
Rick, we go again Sunday. Big game against Liverpool. The games are coming thick and fast. See you then.
See you then, mate.
Nice one, mate.